we need to be more perfect in order for us to be successful or get the things we want, right? And I feel like the more I go through life, like I just made a video of this abstract painting I made the other day, and I showed the process of it, but I also touched on how one time this lady, she had bought an abstract painting off me, and she asked me what the colors meant. And it made me think, like, a part of me was thinking, like, girl, it don't mean nothing. I was just doing stuff, putting stuff together, and it came out nice because I'm already naturally talented. you know? But even if you not art savvy, you still can make a really like valuable piece, like, and you could sell it for a lot of money if you market yourself right. It's not really particularly about the talent, it's more so about your networking skills and how you market yourself. But the talent play a big part, but only so much. It can get you through the door for the most part. But I was saying that just to say, like, in the video, I was saying how, like, the more I love how abstract, the more imperfect it is, the more valuable, like, it's still considered valuable. And the more messy and imperfect that it is, it invokes more emotions out of people. And it made me think about myself. Like, sometimes I'll be thinking, like, I gotta make sure this perfect or it's not going, and I get it to a certain extent. You want to make sure you giving your best and giving your all, even to your content, if that's what you choose to do or choose to. And I feel like with me, sometimes I forget that it's actually the opposite. Like, the more imperfect that you show that you are, the more likely you will the more likely people will relate to you and want to support you, or they just see themselves in you, so they feel more connected to you because you are basically bringing light or attention to something or emotions that they never heard nobody talk about. Even though a lot of the times we feel the same emotions for just different reasons, different scenarios, for the most part in different ways. But it's just interesting because I see some people I be seeing. I'm like, they got a successful following. They doing crazy stuff, and it just let me know that, like, it's really not about being perfect. It is consistency and discipline plays a big part too. I just touched on that earlier, but it's really about embracing your imperfection and accepting that you're not perfect and that you are flawed. And even in the process of being better and changing yourself, you still have to give yourself grace and accept that you won't ever be perfect, and you don't need to be perfect to be successful or to be loved. And I feel like a lot of times we do have certain unconscious beliefs that if we are not perfect in our way of perfect, because we all have different perceptions of certain words. But if you feel like you're not your type of perfect, or the type of perfect the world wants you to be, then nobody is gonna love you past the persona. And I genuinely feel like sometimes I see that in myself. Like, sometimes I feel like, will somebody love me past my flaws? And it's like, even though I know it's possible, I feel like I still notice a part of me that don't think so. Like, I don't notice it, but I feel it. Like, I feel it in me looking back at how I went about certain things in my past, like with, dudes and stuff. It do kind of make me feel like, hmm, not only do I feel like I don't even know if I can love this man through his flaws. And the thing is, it's hard because it's like I feel like we constantly supposed to be balancing out, like, how much grace do you give somebody for, because we all flawed, we all mess up sometimes, all say this thing wrong stuff sometimes. But then again, where do you draw the line where you need to cut this person off and they don't deserve the grace that you want to give them? I feel like that's like one of the hardest decisions I feel like I always gotta make, like choosing me over my bonds with people, or like, and it's very disheartening. And I feel like it kind of just I don't know, like, it really takes a lot of strength to not let life break down your perception of certain things, you know? Certain I hate saying things because it sounds so vague, but like you really gotta fight to protect your perception on love and success. Because when you really think about it, what else is it for real? Like, all right, we all experiencing, we all living, but most of our goals are to be financially free, which is connected to the freedom that we can do with our time because of it, which leads back to time, which is one of the most valuable commodities there is. So, financial freedom and a relationship with somebody that loves you genuinely, you know. So it's like we damn near all chasing the same things, all want the same things in different ways. I'm not gonna say I'm chasing it, baby, because I'm manifesting, and I can't. I gotta be careful what I say, child. It's coming to me. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. Like, it's so crazy how sometimes you think that you're not perfect enough, and that's why you're not getting to where you want to be. When really you're not showing that side of you that people can relate to because you're scared they're gonna judge you, but you're getting judged regardless. And I do feel like I'm not one of those people that think that you shouldn't care what people think about you. I don't think you should care, but it's always to a certain degree, you know, because it does affect your it does affect you the way you represent yourself, your reputation, and your money, like it does. But then again, it's hard, it's tricky because sometimes people be lying on you. They be like, you feel me? It be a lot going on, so sometimes stuff don't even really be in your control. Like, but I feel like for the most part, you treat people good. Like, even if people lie on you, the people that really know you, like, they already know type how you move. You feel me? Just off them being around you. You feel me? But yeah, it's just so important for us to know that you don't need to be perfect to be loved. Like, and I really feel like I'm talking to myself, and I do. I be talking to myself to y'all, like, you know. And I do think it's so. I feel like it's so amazing, but it's also bittersweet because, like, dang, I won't ever really fully grasp the impact that I have had on people, but I know the impact that they had on me, and that some people had on me, and that give me some type of recollection. I don't know if I'm using that right, but recollection of how I could possibly be affecting people, like even if it's not in the same way. But like for example, a video I seen a video, like if I see a video earlier and like even though all this information is not new for real, people just say it in different ways in their own way that may resonate or be meant for some of us to hear it because a lot of times we already are assigned to certain people, like, or assigned to help certain people, or they assigned to help us, like, just like in little miraculous ways, not even if it's not in a big way, even if it's just a video that you seen earlier, and now that even though you already heard that message 1,000 times, that person saying it make you really want to get up and do it, like, you know. So yeah, that's why it's like even if you do already know that certain information is out there, like sometimes God needs you to say it because everybody is not moved by every message, even if it's the same message that it so mad I stuttered. Everybody is not moved by a message, even if it's the same message. And yeah, that me knowing that just adds more urgency to me speaking about how I feel when I get those, those epiphanies or those downloads with the spiritual community calling to basically really say something to myself, but also something that I feel like need to be said and somebody needs to hear it, you know? So yeah, y'all like, comment, and subscribe. We only going up. It's only going to keep getting better. I'm only going to keep showing y'all more of my vulnerability, to a certain degree, because it still is social media at the end of the day. But like, I know that me being vulnerable is a part of me being obedient to my calling, you know. So it's like, but like I said, everything is about balance too. And I do feel like it's healthy and it's good for me to have this outlet because sometimes we need to hear the messages that we have for people. And sometimes the messages that we need to hear for ourselves, other people need to hear it too. So yeah, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. My chosen creators. That's how I was supposed to address y'all. I gotta also come up with an intro, but we rocking regardless. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to the people that did subscribe.